and land is cheap.
Land is cheap in in LA. Okay.
And inside every house, a happy
Right.
all-American.
You're like Santa Claus with that list, bud. Except everyone on it's been naughty. Leave it for later. We gotta pick up the rest of the booze and get it to the station.
Have Central send a prowler to 4216 Evergreen. We won't be here, but they'll see him.
Whoa.
Who in the are you?
Ghost of Christmas past.
Your worst nightmare, most likely, by the looks of it.
Did you dance with the man for a change?
What are you, some kind of smart?
What is going on with the screen here? Bro, why are you sitting there putting your hands on people, bro? That's weird.
Christmas man. Let's go.
Try not to do that.
Hello, Karen.
Hello yourself.
Oh, what happens if you're moving around like that, guys? Because there are a lot of famous people in here, like super young famous people. This is the guy from Babe and The Green Mile.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, he definitely plays a really good, a character that's based off of Power, right? Like he's really good for this type of position, guys.
I saw the test results on the lieutenant's exam. First out of 23. What'll it be then? Patrol Division, Internal Affairs, what?
I was thinking Detective Bureau.
Would you be willing to plant corroborative evidence on a suspect you knew to be guilty in order to ensure an indictment?
Dudley,
Wow.
we've been over this.
Yes or no, Edward?
Please say no.
No.
Would you be willing to beat a confession out of a suspect you knew to be
Please
guilty?
also
No.
say no.
Would you be willing to shoot a hardened criminal in the back in order to offset the chance that some lawyer...
No.
Then,
All right.
for the love of God, don't be a detective. Stick to assignments where you don't have to make those kind of choices.
Wow.
Dudley, I know you mean well.
Like he just threw a whole bunch of people underneath the bus, guys. He did.
I can't think of a single man in the Bureau who wears them.
But then he couldn't see. I have no idea what year this is also taking place in. Maybe like the 50s? Based off of the vehicles, at least.
Down! Get your down. I got a license for that.
In LA? Right.
Cut me some slack.
At that time, probably.
You okay?
She's fine.
I mean, I'm pretty
I'm
sure
not
she
asking
can
you,
answer
sir.
herself, though, right?
Somebody hit you?
It's not what you think.
What is it then?
You got the wrong idea, mister. I'm
Like a
fine.
nose job? Oh, that's messed. That's wrong, guys. Listen, anytime I've like ever been pulled over with like a firearm in the vehicle, guys, the chances of them just taking your bullets, that's wild. Okay.
I used to be a cop.
Then why is he no longer a cop? Seems to be running like security or something. That feels illegal. Oh, well, at least you got the clothes on now.
Not knowing that a man is coming to stop them. Celebrity crime stopper Jack Vincennes.
Guys, keep in mind, they just basically broke into the house without anything. I don't honestly yet know what's actually happening. Yet, we're still trying to get into that. But I don't know why you just broke into someone's house. Like, no warrant, no knocking. Was it like a no-knock warrant? Where's the warrant? Either way, you then inform the, like, paparazzi or whoever Danny DeVito is playing, right? You inform them to come to photograph them with really no clothes on, the woman specifically, right? That doesn't feel legal. Just go ahead and say this, but they're probably gonna, I don't know, sell that to the tabloids or obviously print the ones that can be printed. But what are you gonna do with the fact that you now have this woman with no clothes on? no shirt on at the very least, in a photo, in America, in the 50s.
Up to your old tricks again, bud? Bye. Hey, Jack. Hollywood Jack.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess that the guy, this is the second time he's seen like an incident of like a woman being absolutely mistreated. Fact, right? So something tells me that his overall storyline is going to involve something about that. Maybe his mother was in a similar situation. It's the reason why he's so extremely sensitive to that.
Hey, you know me. I'm keeping the streets safe, boys. All right, take these two and get them dressed and book them. Yes, sir.
The ones who assaulted Brown and Helenowski.
Yeah, I heard Helenowski lost 6 pints of blood and Brown's in a coma.
They're home with bruises and muscle pull. Hey, Stensland, the party's upstairs.
You better put a leash on your partner before he kills somebody.
Good. Got a photo.
Christmas. The press love to label.
That's an amazing photo. Congratulations for taking it. Because, whoa. I didn't honestly know what to expect other than the fact that people kept lying and changing the story. The officer, the only one with honor, literally said, whatever you think happened did not happen, right? But what a time to be another, guys. This is 1952. What a time, guys, right?
Indictments may be handed down.
Good.
Will you testify?
No, sir, I won't.
Weak. That's going to change my opinion of him for the rest of the movie.
So do you see how appearing as a voluntary witness against him could offset the damage that you've done to yourself?
Sir, I won't testify against my partner or anyone else.
This man is a disgrace.
See, that's that thing that always has disturbed me regarding, like, specifically, like, these type of cultures, right? Like, referring to, like, police culture or any type of, like, honestly, organized crime culture or any type of, like, gang culture. All of these things have really similar tactics, except for some of them are legal and others are not legal, right? Some of them benefit generally the wealthy in a sense, right? And target the poor, and then some of them target one group and not the other group. And it's just, all these things are kind of the same thing under the same exact umbrella at times, right? Now that's obviously not disregarding anyone with honor in any of these things, but generally a gang is not as honorable as a police department is, right? Listen, if you see something that is happening that is extremely detrimental to another human being's life, and your job description is to protect. You're not protecting, you don't belong in that job. I'm sorry.
You're suspended from duty. Dismissed.
See, and what's funny is that so what I saw during that last scene, he absolutely should be a little more than suspended from duty. He blatantly brutalized someone under their charge, right? He let his emotions get in the way of doing his duty. So
I'm asking if
Justice has to be served. Of course
absolutely.
I'll testify.
Now, trust me. Now, this is where when I say gang, right? This is where things are going to get very interesting, right? I believe that he's probably going to be like, yeah, absolutely. What's right is right. But the dilemma here is one thing. Retribution.
the image of the new LAPD we're trying to create. Welcome to Los Angeles, the city of the future.
Well, specifically, LAPD is going to have a really terrible time.
The public will expect the department to protect its own and sweep this under the carpet.
Yep. Generally.
Don't. Shift the guilt to men whose pensions are secured. Force them to retire. Richard Stensland and Bud White. Secure them jail time. The message will be very clear. This department, your new LAPD, will not tolerate officers who think they're above the law.
The department and the public need role models. Clean-cut, forthright men the public can admire. Sergeant, I'll promote you to lieutenant.
Good.
Effective immediately.
He should be much higher than that.
Detective Lieutenant. He hit one of the Mexicans and he saw the whole thing.
A veteran like Vincennes might be willing to admit his own culpability, but he'd never rat out a fellow officer.
Jack's the technical advisor on Badge of Honor. He lives for it.
Ooh.
I'd like you to observe, Ed.
I like this guy.
Call Sergeant
I see
Vincennes.
honor.
Bright kid.
Absolutely.
He may well reap the benefit, Edmund.
And plead ignorance to questions directed at the other men.
No thanks, I'm not a snitch.
I'll guarantee you a slap on the wrist. A brief suspension followed by a temporary transfer from narcotics to vice. When you transfer out of vice, you'll be back on the show.
What's funny is this is how I believe conversations go after like crazy news events, like even that still go on. I'm almost positive this is how conversations go, guys. Plotting.
The show?
Badge of Honor, Vincennes. We need to tone down your profile for a bit.
The grand jury will hear your testimony tomorrow. Dismiss, Vincennes.
Ace him at the grand jury tomorrow, son. Wear a smart-looking suit and ace him. And Ed, lose the glasses.
Bro, he can't see. Okay, he could be like me, for example, right? I can absolutely see without my glasses, right? My glasses mainly are for like for driving, like for vertigo, right? Because basically, when that thing that happened in like 2019 happened, it was wild. Okay, so I caught that thing that happened in 2019, and like instantly, what had happened was my like symptoms were not really that crazy, but I ended up getting, I guess, what's called vertigo, right? And I have, guys, I can't explain it. And like the only thing that actually like helps is like a random shift. It's wild. Like it's super dizzy, like instantly. And so I've just been prescribed the glasses to wear to make me stop being dizzy.
I'm just doing my duty.
Come on, you're playing an angle here, college boy, right? You're getting something out of this so you don't have to hobnob with rank and file cops who are gonna hate your guts for snitching. Well, if they're making you detective, watch out. I'm snitching 3 old timers who'll be fishing in Oregon this time next week. Next to you, I'm clean and smart.
Listen, I can only imagine the level of drama that guy's about to go through. He, not so much, but he's doing the right thing. And I think that anything is worth it as long as you can do the right thing at all times, guys.
What do you want?
Tell your story, bro.
The department needs smart men like Ixley.
Guys, I can only imagine the police that actually got fired in that time.
You'll do as I say.
Oh. Oh. What? Right. Very hush-hush. The police at this very specific time, the LAPD, are literally acting as if they are themselves organized crime. So they just don't want competition, it seems. Yeah. Just like it. There's no differences, guys.
I think you should have thought of that before Christmas. Make a major case, Sergeant. It's the only way you're getting out of here.
Go get the facts, Jack. Just the facts.
The card that he found when he, like, illegally broke into those people's houses when they were, doing nastiness on the couch, right?
Well, look, a friend of mine just gave me this number, and I just wanted to find out if there was... Ginger,
So it's
you
like
grab a
escort
reverse
service.
directory and shag a name and address for me, Crestview 2239.
I want to do an all hophead issue. Schwartz are jazz musicians,
Hophead.
movie stars. You like it?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later,
I
Sid.
want to do a whole
What do you got?
hophead issue.
Number's not assigned, Sergeant. Good man. We're gonna miss you around here.
There's nothing good about this man. He assaulted someone while they were in your custody. There's nothing good about him. No redeemable qualities.
Broad deal, Sten.
That just says that the rest of the people that are shaking his hand are absolute scum, guys. Here comes the only cop in the building. I translated it to normal human.
Who is she and what did you arrest her for?
Exactly.
It's confidential. It's like that magazine that Vincennes scams for. Hush, hush.
Yeah, got a real career going.
Sergeant Williams, pick up, please.
Lieutenant Exley.
You got Downtown Division, the Night Owl Coffee Shop.
I got it.
I think that that very specific scene with the clock, how the office clock was wrong and yet his Rolex was absolutely on point. I think that was just meant to show the level of like clean cut and precise that he is as a character. It's working.
At least one person's dead. I stopped for coffee. The night owl's closed.
No one
It's
comes
never-
through the front door. Understand?
Yes, sir.
What is happening? Okay. So a robbery. And the person may still be here. They were sitting there. No, yeah, they were definitely sitting here. The body is gone. So there are more than one person. He was dragged. Maybe you shouldn't just open that door, bro. Everybody in the restaurant?
I'll make you my second in command.
Captain Smith, over here, please.
Back door! Nobody else inside.
Looks like the cook drew it.
We got an ID on one of the victims. It's Dick Stensland.
I feel no remorse for his loss of life, guys. Terrible person in a position of power that just abused it to brutalize other humans, guys.
Is this your daughter, Mrs. Lefferts?
I don't know.
We know this is difficult.
But my Susan was a blonde, not a redhead.
When was the last time you saw her?
Just before Christmas.
You got the wrong idea, mister. I'm fine.
She has a birthmark on her hip. It's her.
This is a heinous crime that requires swift resolution. 6 victims. One of them, one of our own. As it happens, he was a night owl regular.
All right, guys, so here's the thing. All right, so if you remember, that guy recognized the other guy that had gotten out of the car when that woman had that, like, thing on her nose, guys, while sitting in the back of the car. Now, what's standing out to me here is I think that as soon as he lost his job, he wasn't even worried about it. I think the whole time he was working with this organized crime syndicate the entire time, okay? This is how much honor I think he has. I think that's what he was doing the entire time. So when he lost his job, he was like, yeah, whatever, it's on me. The next time I see you, everything is on me. So we're going to probably find out that that's what has been going on sometime soon.
In the wrong. Interrogations will be led by Lieutenant Exley.
Enough on that.
The people of Los Angeles demand it. Dismissed.
All necessary force.
Why not just put a bounty on him?
Yep. Why not just put a bounty?
Are you Pierce Patchett?
I am. Oh, are you soliciting for police charities? Last time you called at my office. Go on down to the driveway. We'll talk there.
Ooh, is that a Jaguar?
What can I do for you?
You want to go downtown and discuss this officially?
Is that what this is? Official?
Somehow I
Doesn't look
have a
it.
feeling this is more personal with you, Mr. White.
Absolutely it is.
And you wouldn't feel obligated to report them.
Listen. Let me explain something to you, sir. Just if you just don't know this, all right? Every single thing you say can and will be held against you. Stop talking. Don't. If you ever asked a question, you answer the question as vague as humanly possible. Answer it vague. Do not volunteer information under no circumstance do you volunteer information to someone that will hold every single thing you say against you. All right?
Why were Lefferts' eyes black?
When the work had been done, that's when you saw us.
The nose
That's why her
job.
mother couldn't ID her.
I'll give you a handsome reward.
Whatever you desire.
Really? I think he will just for the reward, guys. I no longer think he has honor.
Is it the cops?
Miss Bracken?
Actually, yes.
I'm Officer White.
I've been expecting you, just not this soon.
I'll call your wife to come get you.
Right.
Officer. Councilman.
Right. Councilman.
Do you know why Pierce is humoring you?
Use words like that, you might make me mad.
But do you know?
Yeah, I know. Pageant's running. Cut to look like movie stars.
Thanks to Pierce, we still get to act a little.
Tell me about
we?
Pierce.
Oh.
He's waiting for you to mention money. I remember you from Christmas Eve. You have a thing for helping women, don't you, Officer White?
Maybe I'm too curious.
You say f- a
No.
lot.
For money.
Did they deserve it today?
When do they deserve it, sir? When do you become the judge?
Well, actually, it was only 2.
He had you cut to look like Veronica Lake.
No. I'm really a brunette.
Yeah, she's definitely prettier than Veronica Lake, guys.
I'd like to see you again.
Are you asking me for a date or an appointment?
I don't know.
Better not be a date.
If you're asking me for a date, I should know your first
Forget I
name.
asked. It was a mistake.
Right.
Bidwell, come on down here and talk to us.
I know the judge, and Lieutenant Exley here is very good friends with the DA.
Yeah, don't believe nothing that they're saying.
5 minutes from here. Thanks, Lynn.
Pack him up. Pack that guy up, bro.
So I'll hear from you, right?
No, you won't.
About my brother.
Bro, listen. I'm sorry, guys. I may be like a super cynic, but no. Okay. Did you get that in writing, bro? Did you? Signed with badge numbers. So when they fall through on that, you can take them to court for the shenanigans. Right? Did you? Then I'm not saying nothing.
Well, just don't shoot me.
I mean, there's no telling. I mean, you guys are both walking around with your finger on the trigger. I mean, it can go off at any time, you know.
What are you guys doing here? How many ways in?
Only one. Up the stairs.
He's very serious.
I mean, shouldn't you be serious? When you guys are armed?
The ejection marks on the shells fired from the suspect's shotguns are identical to the marks on the shell casings found at the Night Owl.
Okay.
I want confessions, Edmund.
You're 22, aren't you, Ray? Did one of the officers work you over a little?
What do you think?
So you're 22, right?
And why do you keep asking me that?
Said they called you sugar because you gave it out. So sweet.
Lewis gave it up. I can see this, man.
I heard you like to shoot dogs.
Dogs got no reason to live.
What?
You feel the same way about people, too?
What you trying to say?
You know, Ray, I'm talking about the gas chamber, and you haven't even asked me what this is about. You got a big guilty sign around your neck.
That was masterful, Edmund.
Was it?
This one's ready to go.
Said the Night Owl was your idea. I think it was Ray's idea. You talk, I think I can save your life.
Guys, this is wild. All right? I just got captivated by this ridiculousness. Mainly from the people who are even talking to them. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Regardless of anything, I don't care. It just doesn't matter, guys. There's no way I'm talking to the police, guys. It just won't happen, right? It just won't happen. Oh, we're going to have you in, I don't know, lockup for 30 days. Okay. I'm still not talking. There's no chance, guys. Not like this. Not like this, right? I wouldn't be in a situation like this in the first place because I don't put myself in situations like this. But as of right now, the story feels weird. Okay? It feels weird. I don't know if it was a plant or not, guys. We'll see. We'll see.
Son, 6
It feels
people are
kind of
dead,
plantish.
and someone has to pay for it. You know what's going to happen to you if you don't talk.
Well, the problem with this whole thing is, again, all he's doing very specifically, in a sense, masterfully, absolutely. He's doing his job. This is what he was trained to do, right? But how I think this is going to turn out is that they had nothing to do with it, right? That's just the overall vibe of it. I don't really think they had anything to do with it, but he just basically ruined their friendship, no doubt.
You'll go to the gas
No
chamber.
doubt.
So for
Maybe she's okay.
What?
Okay. Well, these people are all in the morgue. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, this is not like, okay, they're obviously terrible people. All right, they're absolutely terrible people, but I don't think that had anything to do with what they arrested.
The night owl?
Oh, nah, bro. You'll go ahead and rot in jail now, but it's...
So things got out of hand and you made her bleed. She bled on your clothes, so you burned the clothes.
Told you that. Brown corner house upstairs.
Pack this man up, guys. This cop, nah. Like, you can't, like, we get it. These guys are absolutely criminals, right? I don't think there's no other conversation to have. They're criminals. They didn't do what you think they did, but they're absolutely criminals. This cop right here is no different than the guys who are sitting in the room to me, guys. He does not belong walking around. There's no honor in this. I don't care what benefit he has to society. He has none. This is not adequate behavior for people, for a person who is supposed to be protecting the people. It's not one. It's a bad look, guys. It's an absolutely bad look. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this man here has something to do with his mother or like a sister or something. Unarmed. Bro, I get it. But no. All right. Bro. Oh. That's wild, guys. That's wild.
Away from me.
How's it gonna look in your
this-
report? It'll look
prosecute
like
this man.
justice. That's what the man got.
Really?
Justice.
Really?
You don't know the meaning of the word, you ignorant
He
bastard.
doesn't. He doesn't know the meaning of anything. He should not have this job. Take this badge away from him.
Yeah?
No. Stensland
You're
got
a
what
criminal.
he deserved, and so will you.
Yep. Thank you. Bro. Yes. Yes, guys. Hopefully in a more painful manner.
Anyone seen Jack Vincennes?
People. Do you see why you don't talk? Have your lawyer talk.
Is there something up, Lieutenant?
I need some backup. Come on.
And keep in mind, guys, I'm not standing up for these clowns, guys. But the moral of the story here is no. Have your lawyer talk. I'm innocent. I know you're innocent. Trust me. I get it. We're here. Handshake. But don't talk. Do you know you're speeding? I'm sorry. I didn't realize it. If I was, I didn't know I was speeding. If I was, right? Like, I mean, I didn't know that when someone was running and they didn't have a firearm, that it's okay to like start shooting behind them. I didn't know that. I thought that was not a thing based off of everything. Generally, you can't just, there needs to be a reason. But Oh, they love you now, bro. They love you now.
I am changing my position on the matter before the council.
So that guy is basically using these scenarios, right? This in a sense escort business that is running here. He's using that very specific thing to reel in politicians for like blackmail purposes. He's like obsessed with her. But why?
I wondered when you might knock on my door again, Officer White.
Is it that he just wants like a turn or something? Okay, so what's happening here is she has like decided to like willingly, right, give her body to him. That's kind of what I'm taking from this. Why him? I don't know. Maybe she senses like a protector or something. Can't be honor, just no honor.
This election
she brushed her teeth,
is about
guys.
the future of law enforcement in Los Angeles.
Good mouthwash.
On each issue affecting
Good to see you back, Boychik.
How'd it hang it, Sid?
Down around my ankles.
Right.
DA Jackie.
Oh, yeah. He tried to throw me off the force last Christmas as a little joke.
How about some payback, big time?
What? Bro, get that in writing.
Right.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna know about this, right?
Bro, he's gonna come with his cameras, photograph it, basically ruin you for the most part, just for the sole purpose of getting blackmail on that guy. Nah, you know more. Guys, everyone has such nice watches. Well, I mean, I get it. They're in like a crime family. They're all like dirty cops, guys.
So, is he your hero, Miss Soto? Hey, fellas, how about this?
Bruh. Hey. How about you go find the real people? See? I mean, not saying they didn't absolutely, I'm trying to say they deserved the shenanigans, but guys, still can't be the judge, all right? We have a social contract, guys.
Bisbee.
And the people that are meant to uphold our social contract, when they break that social contract, that's iffy.
When I was 12, my old man went after my mother with a bottle. I got in the way.
That's it. That's the reason. Makes sense. So it's the mother. And that's his villain story in a sense,
Why you
yes?
became a cop? Do you like it?
Yeah, he likes brutalizing people. Absolutely.
I used to.
He's dirty.
Now it's all strong arm sitting duck stuff.
You're wrong.
Feel sympathy for
You
me.
found Patchett. You found me.
I'm a dirty cop.
You're smart enough.
We got 3 shotguns taken from the suspects, which match the strike marks on the shell casings. What more do you want?
Those guns were used, but literally, think about this here. Guys, that was a really interesting, it was a pretty terrible time in American history, okay? They were definitely an easy scapegoat for this, guys, right? To say the least.
Yeah. Patty DeLuca, the night shift waitress, and a Susan Lefferts.
That's the one you look for. Susan.
And old Mrs. Jensen next door said she thought she saw Susie's boyfriend and another man, and she heard a ruckus.
What's the
Another
boyfriend's
man.
name?
We weren't properly introduced.
Look at the picture for me.
Yeah, that's him.
That's him. That's him. And then Mrs. Jensen said they kept going under the house.
Under the house.
The room full of old things.
Right.
Oh, don't move that.
Why not? What are you hiding?
Don't mind the smell. I think a rat died behind the wall.
Hold on. A body. Whose body? Oh. Leland Meeks. Okay.
Was it a rat?
No, it's a whole body.
Great big one.
So you're just going to leave the body there, bro? You know, makes sense.
I can't. I need someone outside of homicide. I want you to tail
I'm
Bud
kind
till
of
he goes
like...
on duty this evening.
I'm like...
Why don't you do me a real favor
maybe
and leave me alone?
65% with the guy, this guy right here. I'm like 65%, you know, backing him a little bit, right? The whole elevator incident, guys, that's tricky, right? But let's see where this is taking us, guys.
Do you make Rolo Tomasi?
He's going to find out that the police have
Is there
something to
more
do
to
with
that,
it,
or am I
probably,
supposed to
bro.
guess?
Why'd you become a cop?
They seem to all lose sight of this. They start out with like this grand idea of what becoming a police officer is, and then they all go absolutely, you know, to the ground with this, guys. So something tells me that there should probably be like a term limit or something, guys. There has to be like listen, bro, we're gonna give you guys like a 1.5-year contract, and that's it, guys. That's it.
I just want to solve this thing.
Night Owl was solved.
Right. So that's colorful language. Paisano is like countrymen. Guys, did everyone just leave their windows open in this time, guys? No, I'm pretty dumb. Pretty dumb.
How was I supposed to know?
Me neither, bro. I have no idea. You're right, though.
I saw you on television getting your medal.
Well,
And
that is
you're
some artwork behind
another
here.
Hollywood celebrity policeman, aren't you?
Bad rep. Thanks.
Hey, just the facts, Jack.
Bro,
Just
you
the
all
facts.
have bad reps. I don't think that the millionaire knew that the woman was dealing with the cop, guys. I don't think so. Bro, he plays himself every single time he talks and does something ridiculous, guys. He does. He plays himself.
The way you've underestimated Bud White.
There's nothing to underestimate involving him. What is wrong with these people? Bro, I don't understand the allure, okay? So I was trying to hold back, okay? Listen, guys, I have never partaken in this type of thing, right? I've never in my life paid for any type of thing like this, okay? I understand some people do it for the, I don't know, I have no idea, boredom maybe, or just for the sake of doing it, I guess. Because I don't know, I just, listen, everyone has to earn a living, but that doesn't mean specifically, I would very specifically put my mouth onto one of those people, right? I just, oh gosh, guys. Oh God, guys.
You were the supervising officer on that case, and I was wondering if you remember anything about it.
What does Exley make of all this?
No, I haven't told him yet. I just came straight from the records room.
Well, I definitely did not see that one coming at all. But like, the characters are like so dislikable that I don't know if I feel anything that this just happened, guys. I'm definitely surprised. I don't know where that came from. He's obviously involved. That's what's happening, right? He's obviously involved.
Our justice must be swift and merciless.
Right.
That is all.
Bro, this man here. Of course. I mean, this is what happened in that era. A lot of the times.
You ever heard Vincennes mention him?
No, I haven't.
Bro, I think you just outed yourself. Congratulations.
Probably nothing. Still, keep your eyes open, eh, Boyle? And I had such grand plans for your future.
What plans?
You have your extracurricular activities, and I have mine. We must have a clarification session one of these days.
Right.
Okay. All right. Everybody knows that Patch is worth a boatload of greenbacks. But the man has hobbies, too.
Greenbacks.
He bankrolls B movies under the table.
And then you find out it's not you, it's someone else. Oh. Wait for it. What? Has your whole world crumbled, sir? Good.
And you! Learn to pull your punches a little better.
Oh, this was a setup?
Cuff me now, fellas.
Oh, yeah, he's done.
I want to know what happened with Exley.
Bro, you know what happened. You know what you got yourself into when you got into a relationship with her. You knew that. So this shouldn't even be, like, anger shouldn't even be existing, bro. Seriously, you should not be this mad. You knew. It wasn't this isn't like a surprise. Like, surprise, I do these things. What are you mad about? And this is basically him at the end of his ropes now, guys. Right? He has basically resolved himself to do what he saw his father doing to his mother now, right? What he has been saving all the women from the entire time. This is him at the end of his rope, guys. Why? I don't understand this, right? These guys were not friends. They had nothing to do with each other. They both dealt with a person that sells their body. They both engaged in that very specific thing with that very specific person. You know, no fault on her end at all. I don't even see the issue right now, guys. I could be blind or something, but I don't see what the problem is. Like, is he doing this to all of her other clients also, or?
I don't know. But I think Stens killed Meeks over heroin.
What heroin?
The 25 pounds, is that what it was?
The night Al made you. You want to tear all that down?
He doesn't care about it. He cares about honor. Yeah.
You want to help me swing it?
Like, this guy is absolute filth. Don't get me wrong here.
So what if some homo actor is dead, huh? Boys, girls, 10 of them get off the bus to L.A. every day.
Oh. This man is wet with toilet water. They hung him out to dry outside the window.
Somebody worked her over. She wouldn't say who.
Oh yeah, you know who did it, guys.
Must have dug up garbage on the wrong guy. We got it narrowed down to 1,000 suspects.
Sergeant Wyatt? Dispatch got a call for you. Lieutenant
Everybody's getting deleted.
You figured this was a setup and you showed up anyway?
A lot of bad stuff happened here.
Yeah. You did a lot of bad stuff here. This is like dirty cops versus dirty cops, guys. Ooh. Bro, the sergeant has to be out there somewhere.
You okay?
I'm sure he didn't just send like soldiers, cop soldiers out there. Uh-oh.
Move!
Save the day. Guy on the ground with gun in your hand. Ooh. Oh. You gonna take him in? You know you can't take him in, bro. Oh, sadly. Welcome to the dark side, bro.
The actual gunmen were most likely Los Angeles Police Department officers Michael Bruning and William Carlisle, and a third man who may or may not have been Captain Dudley Smith. Beginning with the incarceration of Mickey Cohen, Captain Smith has been assuming control of organized crime in the city of Los Angeles. That's it.
Well, the press is going to have a field day with this.
Fix the issue, bro.
Christ, it'll
You want to tell me what you're smiling about?
Go ahead.
A hero.
Two-time Medal of Valor recipient. Fat cops stealing apples will be left behind forever.
Right. Bro. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, he made it.
Thanks for the push.
Right. 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 What year did this movie come out, guys? LA Confidential. Came out in 1997. Okay, so this movie was absolutely troubling, kind of for a lot of the movie, I would say. I think it shows like the grayness of humanity. It kind of similar to how we're watching Game of Thrones. And a lot of people are saying that a lot of the characters are gray. Don't just dislike someone strongly because of their actions right now. I kind of do. The problem is that I generally give people like one chance, and when they do something absolutely egregious, it's kind of rough to come back from that ever. But I would say, though, this is easily one of the greatest movies just ever. What is it rated? It's rated 8.2. That make 99 on Rotten? Yeah, guys, absolutely. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is one of the greatest movies I've ever encountered. I instantly felt while watching this movie. Now, regardless of if it was like a feeling of amazingness or like happiness or sadness or anger or rage, mostly rage, but I instantly felt while watching this movie, and that tells me, I mean, that it's obvious. It obviously has to be a great movie that we're encountering here. The screenplay was great. The writing was great. I seriously disliked the characters. Seriously. That tells you how well it was written. There were a couple of things about in this movie. Sorry, there were a couple of things in this movie that instantly were just like, ooh, troubling, but historically accurate. Absolutely historically accurate. So it is what it is, right? I feel like I need to decompress after watching this. Gosh, guys, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy it thoroughly.